Welcome to the Right Time Group. Today's scripture is, "Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it." Psalm 127, 1a. I remember right as I was finishing up my book and before I actually published it, my pastor's wife introduced me to a very beautiful, tall woman, and she already had published a book. I can remember that she was excited to meet me, and she asked me what was my platform. I must have looked at her like she had three heads. I had no idea what she was talking about. I knew that where I stood to sing and where the praise team would stand and sing or the musicians would play, that was a platform. Beyond that, I had no clue. You see, God had told me to write a book, so I did. He never said, build a platform. But now that I have learned a little bit more, I do want to at least let you know about platform, because as you are writing, it's a good idea to go ahead and start building one. But I don't want you to panic thinking that if God has called me to write, I now have to get some big platform. You don't. Not having a platform does not negate God's call for you to write. You do what God told you to do. My purpose here, truly, is just to help you to know what a platform is and what you can do without causing you any stress. So, what is platform? Simply put, platform is your visibility as an author. This information comes from the basics of building a writer's platform. I read it on Writer's Digest, and it was published on October 22nd, 2012. The definition of platform, she says, is your personal ability to sell books based on who you are, the personal and professional connections that you have, and any media outlets, including blogs and social networks, that you can utilize to sell books. Now, I do want to preface this by saying, when we are called to write, our purpose probably is not to be a millionaire. But platform is what enables you to put your book in the hand of a reader. And that is an important thing to do. Because if you're going to write something and you're going to publish it, if nobody ever reads it, then what is the point? You really cannot help anybody if you keep it to yourself. Platform is telling other people about who you are. It is being transparent and building a following of people who want to know more about you and what God is speaking to you and through you. Because I don't really want to overwhelm you, I really want to keep this really simple so that you can stay really calm and not panic, like thinking, oh my goodness, I have to have a platform if I'm going to write. Okay, you don't. Again, not having a platform didn't negate God's call for me to write. It didn't keep me from publishing, and it didn't stop people from being touched by what I'd written. But it did limit how many people heard about my book. So this takes time. So that is why I suggest that you start now. Here are a list of items that was given by Courtney Carpenter that were the most common building blocks of a platform. It is not limited to this list. So here are some things that you can have that will begin to build your platform. You can have a website. You can have a blog. You can have an e-newsletter or a mailing list with subscribers. You can have an article or a column that is written that is specifically for media, preferably to larger outlets. You can be a guest contributor to successful websites, blogs, or periodicals. You can keep up with the sales of previous books that you've written. You can speak publicly. You can have a good social media presence on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. You can become a member of an organization that supports writers. And you can have media appearances on television or other avenues. Platform building really does take time, and I will tell you this is not something I am just amazingly proficient at, but it is something that I am developing. Truly, it is communicating with other people, stirring conversations, and having conversations that really matter. This is the kind of thing that gives you a platform. When you speak and other people want to hear what you have to say, you are building platform. The likelihood that you can successfully build a platform on every possible avenue is pretty slim unless you have a massive team of people helping you. But since most of us are really new to writing and new to platform building, I would recommend that you just pick one or two social media outlets that you're very comfortable with and begin to build a following there. You're not talking to people just so that you can get big numbers. Truly, that's not the heart behind it. It is just a matter of stirring conversations and finding out the things that are relevant that people need to hear, and then being a voice that they listen to. So if you're just now kind of toying with the idea of writing, or if you have an idea for a book, or you feel God is calling you to write, go ahead and start now. You can write on your Facebook page, and people will begin to want to read more from you. This is how you build a platform. Building a platform certainly isn't everything. It's just not. But it does help you to be able to reach more people with the message that God has given you. And the more people who listen, the more people God can minister to through you. And that is our point.